Really quick, everybody, this whole video is timestamped, so if you don't want to hear my intro, 'cause it's going to be a little bit long, just look at the little red bar down below you and just skip right to it. And if you're sticking around, welcome back to another video, everybody. Welcome back to another ranking everything in Fortnite from worst to best. We're going to be doing this a lot more on the channel now because you guys really seem to enjoy the last one I did where I ranked every single map. If you haven't seen it, feel free to go check that out, by the way. I appreciate all the support on it, so I'm definitely going to make this a thing on the channel. Today, we are going to rank every single live event in Fortnite from worst to best. Just keep in mind, because with Fortnite, I have, some people say I have some bad takes. Some people say I have some really good takes, so I don't know what you guys think. So you might hate me for a couple placements on this video. I'm thinking one in particular. So guys, let me know what you think about everything down below. Just again, keep in mind that this is all my opinion. We are going to be ranking everything starting right now. Coming in at number 17, there are 17 live events, by the way. It is the Star Wars event. Okay, a lot of people may agree with me on this one. I feel like the Star Wars event wasn't really a live event. It was just more of a commercial. It was more of an ad because, don't get me wrong, it was cool. And I forgot to mention, guys, these ones ranked at the bottom, there was a few of them that I was not there for and I didn't attend, so maybe that takes a little bit away from it for me personally. I feel like you guys would agree if you ever missed an event, then you wouldn't like hold it to the same standard as the rest of them. But still, for this event, even though that I wasn't there, it was cool. Like, I watched it on Twitch, I saw like all the ships flying around. That was really awesome. It was setting up to be an okay event, but then you just saw a little bit of the movie and then you saw someone on a stage. It was, you know what, it was like, it's not a Fortnite live event. That felt like it was just advertising the new Star Wars, and I honestly don't have too much else to say about this one. This one was not even a live event to me. It was just an ad, and that is why it's in last place at number 17, the Star Wars event. Coming in at number 16, this is one where I thought you guys would really hate me for, but please forgive me. I was not there for this event, so I can't like say, hey, you know what, this was a great time. It was just from a complete outside perspective. It is the Marshmallow event. Yes, at number 16. Do I like the Fortnite concert events? Yes, love them, but I have also been to the other two, so that's where I'm starting to think like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that one was really good, and it's just because I wasn't there. I don't know what to say about it. Regardless, looking at this event, like if you're just looking at a replay, it's a good event. I don't think there's a bad event besides the Star Wars one. I don't think there is a bad Fortnite event. I just think like compared to all of the other ones, this one just does not stack up. The other concerts that they did are so much better, and Marshmallow is really hype. I hope we get to see another one. That would be really cool, and then that way I could actually attend this one because my job now, I don't work weekends, which is really cool. So I'd have to see another one for me to like actually go, okay, this is awesome. We're gonna see Marshmallow. But it was really cool to see that there was actual concert in the game. It was still a really cool event. Again, I'm not saying it sucked, but I think it was just because I wasn't there that I didn't really feel that spark. Coming in at number 15, the last one that I was not there for, and this is why I'm seeing the pattern here. It is the very first rocket launch event, but I feel like this is a good placement for it, honestly. Okay, first of all, so many people are blinded by nostalgia. Okay, I understand that, but this is also a thing where it's like, oh my god, this is really something new for Fortnite. It started off live events. This is something that's never been seen before, and it was something at the time, it was just incredible. But again, like I just said with the other events, take the rocket launch event and then compare it to everything else. It is not even comparable. That event is probably actually maybe the worst, to be honest, but it was still really cool to see what the rockets going on, and it was really suspenseful. It was like, oh my god, Tilted Towers is finally going. After all that speculation, they're going to destroy Tilted Towers, and then it didn't. Then we got a rift in the sky, and it was like, oh my god, what is going on here? I don't know. And it's just, there was so much mystery, and there was a lot of people talking about it afterwards. And again, this is the first live event, and this is something that no game has ever done before. This is something brand new to video games, and it was, this event like hit history. But when you're ranking all the events, it does not stack up, in my opinion. That's why I have it at number 15. Coming in at number 14, we have the Ice King event. Honestly, this is probably going to be the quickest I'm going to say about it. There was nothing special about it. I love Christmas, love snow. It was really cool to see. I actually like the Ice Fiends, by the way. That was really fun to play around. But like, just to have the Ice King there, and like pretty much he was sitting in a ball, and we were all speculating for so long after the events that we got, and it's like, oh my god, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? The Ice King's going to do something crazy. Maybe, and then there was actually talks about a volcano back then, if you remember. Maybe he's going to like spawn a volcano, and there's going to be 2 biomes. People were actually speculating that stuff before it actually happened. It was one of the few things that we actually got right when we're talking about this, right? But anyways, it was just a little bit of a letdown because he just came, he did this crazy thing, and he blew ice all over the wind, and it was a big snowstorm, and then we got to play around with fog. But I really enjoyed that personally, but again, when taking a look at the other events, this one does not stack up. Again, I don't have too much else to say about this one. That's why I'm sitting at number 14, the Ice King event. Coming in at number 13, we have the Butterfly event, and man, this is the first time where the live events actually like really took over in Season 6, and we got Leaky Lake, which is a great POI. I'm one of those people who didn't really love Loot Lake too much, especially at the time. Now I'm feeling nostalgic for it because like, I think it was the way the water, like you crawled in, but regardless, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the event. So the event, we got taken into the in-between. I still don't even know what to call it, right? Is it really inside the 0 point? You you get the point where we saw the Unvaulting and the Galactus event. Kind of like, I feel like it is in the 0 point, but it's some alternate dimension. It's the first time we ever saw it. There was a lot going on in theories and speculation. That was really fun. But for the event of itself, it was pretty quick. Kevin exploded, and then Leaky Lake came out, and that's, again, I feel like I'm saying the same thing here, but when you compare this to the other events, it does not stack up, but it's better than the ones that we did talk about so far. This was the first event that really hit home, and it was like, oh my god, this is actually so cool. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with the live event. So this seemed like it was gonna be the very beginning of all that. Regardless, it was a really cool event. I enjoyed it. I liked the butterfly rift, and I think it was a really nice touch at the end when you're holding it on your finger. You know what I mean? I liked it. It's a good event. But again, other events were better. That's why this one's sitting at number 13 on the list. Coming in at number 12, one of the events that I feel like people will place this a lot lower than I actually have it, but I have at number 12 here, the Kevin rolling into Loot Lake, the most forgettable live event we have ever seen in Fortnite. But man, okay, was this event long? Was this event exciting? No, not at all. A lot of people didn't even know it happened, right? But the amount of fun that we had on the bouncy Loot Lake after that, and this is what I was talking about earlier in the video, where I was talking about like the aftermath of the event. This event gave us something to play with. This event gave us, like, I want to say it was a week or two of like really fun times. I have had so much fun and so many good memories bouncing on that Loot Lake thing. And you remember people were like, couldn't build on it, and then people were bouncing around trying to shoot each other. You get these trick shots with a shotgun. To have that whole giant bouncy area, and it was a big area too, especially in squads when people are trying to fight each other, and especially when you went down, you can pick your teammates up. It was so chaotic. It was so much fun. The amount that, like, the things I remember, because of course there's not really much to remember about the event. Kevin just rolled and then sunk in the lake, right? And then it all turned purple, and then we're like, okay, is that it? And then we ended up having so much fun for the rest of the season with a purple Loot Lake, and I loved it. But it led for a lot of fun times. I really enjoyed it. So that's why it's sitting at number 12, the Kevin rolling into Loot Lake event. I don't even think that one had a name. Moving on to number 11, almost in the top 10 here, I have the Rift Tour featuring Ariana Grande. Now, what was great about this event? I'm not personally, the Ariana Grande music isn't for me. I like a couple of her songs, like the one that that's, I don't even know the name, I'm sorry. Regardless, so the event was very visually pleasing. I liked all that area with the stairs, you know, where the stairs were upside down and you were going up, but there was just a lot of like, the problem with this one is with Travis Scott, we didn't expect what we got with that, and it just hit you home, and you thought it was gonna be like the Marshmello concert, and then, oh my god, Travis Scott's huge, oh my god, what's going on? There's all this crazy stuff going on in the sky, oh my god, we're taken into an altered dimension. This is really cool and unexpected. It blew our expectations away. Ariana Grande kind of did the same thing, but like not as good. Like the visuals, they are arguably better, but it never, like, there was nothing that just like hit you where it's like, oh my god, this is amazing. I hope that makes sense. Like, it was just more of the same with Travis Scott, but the Travis Scott one just did everything better. And I think people, like, I don't know if I had my expectations too high for this. Regardless, it was really cool. It's fun to hear Juice WRLD. It was honestly, it was a really good event, but it was like nothing stand out to me. I did like the lead up to this event. I like that there still seems to be, like, they're hinting at there's still going to be 3 more Rift Tours and the whole Rift Tour thing. So maybe we could like compile all of those together when talking about the Rift Tour. Probably not, though. I think it's a fair placement for it. I think number 11 is a very fair placement. I feel like you guys would agree with me on that one, the Ariana Grande event. Moving on to the top 10, we have the Devourer of Worlds, the Galactus event, man. This one, it was just really fun. We saw Galactus, and we had the waiting for him to come the whole season was really fun. He was in the sky, and he kept getting closer. He landed. He was really big. You can see his horns in the water. It was really cool lead up to this. And then we saw Iron Man building up all the buses. So there was so much for the entire season. There was a really nice build up to this event, and that's something that I loved about it. But talking about the actual event, the waiting for it was really fun, by the way. We got to play around on the ship, and then Galactus is like, I hunger, and then just swatted the ship, and then we got in the battle buses, and then we had to drive the battle buses, and we had to finish them. It was so cool going back into that same dimension, the same one where we see imposters and Unvaulting and the butterfly event, right? I still don't know what it's called. I'm sorry, I still don't know if it's exactly inside the 0 point, but it was so cool to walk around in that bus and see all of the other buses that were going on around there. It was a solid event. I had a really good time, but again, there are events that were better than this. As a Marvel fan, I don't know, by the way, too, like, I really like the Marvel stuff. Did you guys really like the event? Because I know a lot of people who didn't even like Marvel like the season, but would that make you like the event? Because, like, there's no really gameplay for you to play around, and you know what I mean there. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this one specifically down below, and whether or not you're a Marvel fan, because I would like to know, like, did you enjoy this even if you don't like Marvel? I don't know. Regardless, I have it at number 10. I think it's a pretty good placement for it. Coming in at number 9, I feel like this is one where you guys will have it a lot higher, and this is the final showdown, the Mech versus Cadets. This is one of the most hype events of all time. There weren't a lot of events where I was like screaming screaming like, oh my god, watching it with my friends like, oh my god, the monster's behind him, and then like punched him, and then it was just a really cool fight scene. I don't have a lot to say about this one. This is just the mech after, like, there's a lot of lead up to it too. It seemed like there was the monster. He was leaving hints that there was a big monster, and then the monster was bigger than everyone expected because we got the footprints, right? But the footprints like were nothing compared to what the whole Devourer was. So there was a lot of speculation going into this, and the big reveal for the monster really hit home. Same with the mech when it finally got up and started shooting the monster. It was really fun to watch, and I like fight scenes, and it was really good. I hope I was really looking forward, and I still feel like they're going to do this with Cadis's return. I want to see a rematch between the mech and the monster, because what Epic Games can do with this new engine and what they can do with these live events that they're doing now, I can only imagine what they can like pull off visually, because that one, not the best visuals, but it was still really enjoyable. Like, I don't want to mark on it. And oh, and another thing I didn't even mention was the statue. Like, this whole event had like unexpected things where it's like, oh my god, that statue in Neo tilted the whole time was a sword, and they pulled it out and just stabbed the Devourer. We got to see the 0 point for the first time. Don't forget, that was the first time we saw the 0 point, so we were like, what the heck is that ball, and why does it look like it's gonna explode? Why is it giving her so much power? There was so much mystery, and now that I'm saying this, I feel like I want to rank it higher, but I'm not gonna rank it higher. This is it was a really fun event. And this top 10 here, all the events that Epic Games does just knocks it out of the park, and it was especially the top 3 I had such a hard time with. But with that being said, I'm going to move on. The final showdown at number 9, amazing event. Moving on to number 8, we have the brand new one, Fortnite Collision. Now, this event was really cool because we got to see space. We finally got to see the paradigm back. There was a lot of stuff where we predicted this event right, but this is the only problem is we predicted a lot of this, and we knew a lot of the stuff that was going to happen. The only thing that we didn't predict right was that Cadis was going to come back, and that was a little bit of a letdown that Cadis didn't come back, but that's our fault totally. That's not Epic Games' fault, right? It's just like the Travis Scott. I point back to that every single time where it's like that event had something where it's just like hits you, and it's like, oh my god, I couldn't believe that. And like the Devourer coming up, and it was like, oh my god, I didn't expect that. There was nothing unexpected here except for Peely, but that was like a very small moment of the event, which was hilarious, by the way. It was awesome, the setting up that whole story all the entire time of Peely driving around. I remember Mark in the Discord kept like talking about, and he was like, what if like Peely's driving around? What if he saves us? And he's like hinting towards it, and I'm like, probably not. But then Peely actually ended up coming in saving the day. That was actually so funny to see, but that was like the takeaway from the event. There could have been more. I just really enjoyed the event, but there was nothing that made me go, oh my god, this event was amazing, you know what I mean? But I saw a lot of people on Twitter afterwards saying it was amazing. I did like Dr. Sloan afterwards, and that whole point when you finally saw the shadow of Geno, or whoever that is, if it's just like a vision of Geno. Nobody really knows yet. Regardless, we finally got more on Geno, and then Jones went into the other world. There was a lot of lore in this event. I really enjoyed it. The best part of this event for me was being in space and playing around with the meteors and being in the actual mech in the ship, and you got to see like the rocket on the moon and stuff like that. I really enjoyed it. This event was really good. That's it. Not great, not awesome. You know what I mean? It was just really good. I really enjoyed the event, though. The visuals were outstanding. I did, however, think it was better because of like the production of the event and how they handled it. It was better than the Devourer Worlds event, because just that event, I would have probably enjoyed more of this. And did I say the Devourer Worlds? I meant the Mech vs. Monster event. I'm getting that confused with Galactus a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? The Epic Games, their production for the events, it just went sky high for this one. It was fantastic. So that's why I said at number 8. I really enjoyed this event. Moving on to number 7, we have the Zero Crisis finale. Now, for this event, I really enjoyed it. It was, again, very visually pleasing, and it was a lot of hype after Chapter 2, Season 5, right? A lot of people didn't like this season, but this is just the live event. The live event brought the Spire, and the Spire was super, super cool, by the way. I loved all of it. I love that we finally got the Foundation. It was really cool, the introduction, the whole, like, starting scene with him, like, dodging, peeling, dodging all the characters that came with the season before. That was a lot of fun to watch, and there wasn't a lot of playing in this event, but I was okay with that. The only thing that I did not like about this event was that I couldn't watch it with my friends. I had to watch it alone. There's a big thing with my friends and I. We like watching the events together. I like watching the events with my friends, and it's just a really good time. We wait all, like my friend Gray on the channel, if you'd watch him, you know him. Every single time there's an event, we play all day getting ready for it, and then we would load into the event. So I just really enjoyed doing that, and I couldn't do that for this season. And that's not to say I didn't enjoy it. I would say like I would have enjoyed it so much more if I could like even fill in with random people. Like I enjoy like the multiplayer experience. I enjoy experiencing this with other people, like watching like Jones dodge Peely. I could laugh with someone, but I was by myself, you know what I mean? So that's the only thing. But again, I enjoyed it. I'm not saying that like it's a horrible thing. It ruined the event for me. I really enjoyed this event. I thought it was great. We got a lot of lore there. The foundation was really cool, and it left a lot of mystery. People were speculating for so long, and the 0 point blooming, and nobody really knows still what that's all about, right? It seems like the 0 point was getting unstable, but regardless, it was just awesome. It was really well done event, and the music production, it was just like the end. The music was phenomenal in that event. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and listen to the soundtrack for that event. It was fantastic. It was a really good event. That's why it's sitting at number 7. We're almost in the top 5 now. Coming in at number 6, we have the unvaulting event. What was the best thing about this one? It was like 2 events put in one. So we knew that we were gonna unvault something. We knew that we were gonna go in that vault. And by the way, we were waiting for those doors to open, and then it ended up being an entire hatch. It was really cool. And if you remember, you'd have all those things like floating around the map. I don't remember what they're called. Regardless, there was things floating around the map, and they were going back to the vault. So we had to like, and Loot Lake got dug up. I forgot to mention that part where it was like, oh my god, what is that? And then we found out that it was a vault. I don't remember if it was the leakers or if Epic Games actually put that out, or if there was some lore hint behind it. Regardless, we ended up finding out that it was actually a vault, and it must have been leaks, because now we knew we went into this knowing that we were going to unvault something. It's called the unvaulting as well. And going into that, I was just really happy taking a look around, and like I did that in the first time in Imposters too when I loaded in like that whole loading area. Again, that dimension that I have no idea what it is. Please someone correct me in the comments down below, where I was just like, oh my god, this is really cool, and I was just like walking around looking. I tried voting for the Infinity Blade, but it didn't work out for me. Or Planes was it? I voted for something ridiculous that nobody wanted, but to actually have the community choose what we wanted to unvault was really cool, and everyone was chopping, everyone was going crazy. There was a lot of discussion online talking about like, what do we want to unvault? Now that we get this, now we have the voting boards and we unvault stuff like all the time, but that was at the time, and we didn't see it for a very long time, back in like at least a couple years after, right? There was something brand new, and we actually got to participate in it. But not only after that, we went back up and the volcano was erupting. Then we're like, oh my god, is this finally the time where Tilted Towers gets destroyed? We saw it fly up, hit Polar Peak, which we didn't know was gonna lead into the monster getting out. It hit Retail Row, and then finally it just demolished Tilted Towers, and that was just so much. It was so much fun. It was crazy to witness, because after all these years of speculating about how Tilted Towers is gonna get destroyed, it finally got destroyed. And there was like, again, what I'm talking about, it was something we didn't expect. We went into this event expecting to unvault something, then coming out, but we came up to a brand new event and the volcano was erupting, and we didn't know that was going to happen. So that was really cool. It was very unexpected. It was a very fun time. It was a long event, but I really enjoyed this one. I liked it. It was, man, again, this whole top 5, top 10, it was hard to place, but this event is sitting at number 6. It's sitting pretty, and we're moving on to the top 5 now. Coming in at number 5, we have the Chapter 2 finale. So I want to talk about more of this one when I talk about the end. Spoiler alert, that's in here, the end event, but I think you guys know where that is if you follow the channel, because I talk about that one quite a bit. Regardless, this was a nice send-off for Chapter 2. It was the Chapter 2 finale. We knew it was coming. The Cube Queen's here. She built her pyramid. The whole map was getting ugly and corrupted, and we knew the map was going to go away. It was under attack. It was gonna be destructed, and the Cube Queen was gonna do something to the map. Regardless, it is the end of Chapter 2. We knew it was coming, and this was a wonderful send-off. It was really hype. We were having a lot of flip side speculations about Chapter 3, and I really enjoyed this because I enjoyed Chapter 2 more than I enjoyed Chapter 1, and this is coming from an OG player, and this is like, it gets a little bit emotional because you're saying goodbye to something that was so special. You're saying goodbye to all the memories on that map, and I really enjoyed Chapter 2, and this is where I feel like you guys will disagree with me. I loved so many seasons of Chapter 2. It was way better than Chapter 1, and almost every season actually, but we're gonna rank every season in Fortnite one day too. But yeah, it was just a really fun send-off. It's not even about the event for me, but the event itself was really cool. We fighting off all the UFOs and the mothership, and then that whole space, and we saw it opened up, and then we saw all the motherships and how many there actually were, and then we couldn't help. Kevin had to save us, the 7 had to save us, and then we actually went underground. We saw Sloan, we got the rock. That was really funny. The event itself was very well done, especially, and that whole beautiful shot afterwards with the island flipping, we're like, okay, that's what flip side means. It was a beautiful event. I really enjoyed this one. It's one of the best events in Fortnite history. It's why it's sitting at number 5 on my list. Coming in at number 4, we have the best concert in Fortnite history, and that is Astronomical by Travis Scott. Now, this is the safe version of the Travis Scott concerts, but this man, I feel like I already said everything that I need to say about this. It's just like, this event, it was so unexpected. We thought it was going to be something like the Marshmallow event, and then we were like, okay, Astroworld's coming in. Didn't really expect that, but it's probably going to be be a really cool background. And then bang, Travis Scott's huge, and then he's stepping over us. And I remember watching this with my friends, and everyone was like, oh my god, this is crazy, look at him, he's huge. And then he's like walking around stepping over people, and that's not even where it ended. The visuals just got crazier and crazier and crazier as the songs went, and it was so like trippy is a good word to describe it. Actually, it was so trippy, and it was just a really fun concert. And then we started like getting into that space or alternate dimension or something like that, and then we floated over the old maps and stuff, and it was really cool. And Travis Scott was walking around a planet. I loved it. Everything about this event just was so unexpected and so awesome. This event was done perfectly. Like, I don't know what you could have honestly done better. It was great. I wish I had more to say, but I feel like I already touched on everything for that. But Travis Scott, astronomical, sitting at number 4. Let's move on to the top 3. Now, this entire top 3 was so hard to place. They're all like almost on the same level, but they do have a ranking. And number 3 is going to be the device event. There was so much going on with Midas, and it was so exciting to see. We knew he was building something, that we knew a lot was going on in the agency. We started to figure out that Ghost and Shadow was just a decoy, and it was the whole secret agent season was great. And then Midas building that suit, and we knew, can the storm be broken? That was our hint, and we're like, huh? So we found out Midas is actually trying to break the loop, and then we actually, for the first time, had peace on that island when the loop actually broke. And at first it got crazy, which was really cool to see, by the way. The device was going nuts, and we finally got to see the device after all the leaks and then all the trailers with Midas, because if you remember, we got a lot of teasers for this event. We got a lot, and it was really cool build up to it, and man, did it deliver. So long story short, Midas broke the loop, and then there was actual peace on the island that had like that glowing, shimmery feeling. You know what I mean? There was like that whole effect on the screen. But then it took us to Agent Jones, and then there's a whole other storyline to Fortnite that we didn't know about. And this is the beginning of it all. And we actually saw Jonesy, and then he was talking to Janice, whoever Janice is. But we finally got taken to the office, and then we finally got our confirmation that we are in a simulation. It was speculated for so long what Fortnite is. This was the beginning of the storyline. This isn't even the best part, though. Isn't even the best part. After all of that, we got the water storm. The water storm was some of the most fun I've ever had playing in Fortnite. Don't get me wrong, it was beautiful, but that's just something that I like to look at, so I'm not even going to touch on that. But regardless, that's a big thing for me, is it was beautiful to look at, and all the effects that happen on the map, and I'm talking about it, and I don't even need to talk about it. Regardless, to change up the storm, to play around with that for a couple days, that was so weird, so much fun, and again, unexpected. I feel like unexpected is what makes these events so great, and the water storm is some of the most fun I have ever had playing in Fortnite, and that's just the aftermath of it. The whole event itself was fantastic. We finally got a conclusion for Midas, not necessarily a conclusion, but a conclusion for that season, and then we got to play around with it afterwards. It was so much fun. I loved that event, and it blew my expectations out of the water, and it really delivered on the hype. We got a lot of teasers for it. Epic nailed this one. It was great, and that's why it's sitting at number 3 on my list. Almost done, guys. Coming in at number 2, we have Operation Skyfire, Chapter 2, Season 7 event, my favorite season of all time, and that event was perfect to end it off. Now, I don't know about you guys, but every single time in the mothership, when the mothership abducted us on the map and we got to play that mini game, I was like, we got put in that little room, and then I was like, every single time, I wonder what's on the outside of that, and I brought my character, and I was trying to look to see if I can see anything, but of course, you can never see anything. You can see like a little bit of the hallway, but I did not expect to actually be able to go on that mothership and have that door open, and we actually got to explore inside the mothership. That's what I wanted to do all season. I'm like, I was walking around, just looking around, just loving the visuals. I wasn't even really paying attention to anything shooting at us. I was like, oh my god, I finally get to explore the UFO. I get to finally go on the mothership, and it was awesome. I absolutely loved it. And then the big twist for this event, you know what I didn't even realize until I started talking about these events for the video, is the reason that I'm ranking this is, like, the rankings, the high ones, is that something unexpected happened. And what happened that was unexpected this time? Kevin came back. After all this time, after all this speculation, Kevin came back. And not only did he come back, we found out that there are like thousands of Kevins on the mothership. And it was just the whole reveal for Kevin, the whole reveal for Sloan betraying us, the whole reveal for all the cubes was just unexpected. It was crazy. And I feel like I'm using the word unexpected a lot, but it was like, oh my god, we did not know what to expect coming into this event. We expected to just like shoot down the mothership, right? But then it's that nice twist, and then everything started blowing up. Sloan betrayed us. She left us, all the bombs there, and again, we were setting that up for a long time with the challenges and everything. We had to place bombs at the bottom of Corny Complex. We knew the mothership was going to abduct. Started abducting places. There was a lot of setup to this event. And then afterwards, leading into the next season, we were falling out of the sky, and it was a little bit of disappointment afterwards coming into season 8. But regardless, that doesn't matter, because that event was absolutely phenomenal. I loved it from start to finish. The music was great. The loading screen was great. We were actually playing hide and seek on that like floating platform while everything was getting abducted. It was just awesome. I loved everything about this event. It's so hard to place these 3, but this one is sitting nicely at number 2. Coming in at number 1, we have the end event. If you guys are following the channel, you would have heard me talk about this a lot. This event, I don't think there will be a Fortnite event that beats it. I don't care. You know what? Nostalgia. If I'm blinded, I'm blinded. I cannot get past this one. I'm typically pretty good for getting past nostalgia. I don't know if it's necessarily nostalgia though, because think about all the memories I made in Chapter 1. Chapter 2, I did end up making more memories than in Chapter 1, but there was something about like your first Fortnite map and your first season. You're saying goodbye to it, and man, the music did everything here. And again, there was so much that we didn't know. We didn't know anything about the storyline, but we finally got those tapes from the 7 and the scientists and the visitor. They were chatting, and then the rocket was getting built. And we're like, okay, the rocket's back. There was so much like nostalgic stuff that they brought back in Season X, and it was fantastic. The lead up for this was so good, and then finally that clock hit, and the meteor went in the rifts, the rocket launch started going everywhere, and then once that meteor came in the sky, we were watching it float down. We were like, okay, maybe, because we didn't know that we were going to get a new map, we didn't know that this was going to be a new chapter, we thought we were just going into Season 11 at that time, if you remember, but I was like, oh my god, this map is actually going to just get destroyed. We're actually going to get to a new map. There's going to be some major changes here. So I started thinking, and then the end event the music didn't help. I'll try to remember to have it playing for now. Regardless, this event was absolutely insane, and I had to say goodbye to all the memories that we made on that map, and that was the only event. The Chapter 2 finale one, maybe. Not nearly as much, though. The Chapter 2 finale was kind of, like, more fun, because I knew, like, Chapter 3 was going to be a lot of fun, but I didn't know what to expect in Chapter 2. Saying goodbye, and I wanted this to help because I also just watched this with a friend who doesn't play Fortnite anymore, and it was, like, not the last time I played with him, but you get the point. The last time that I, like, really, like, he enjoyed the game as much, and he was playing with me at that moment, and then it was like said goodbye to the old Fortnite map and said goodbye to a friend at that point. And I hold this event to like in a special place in my heart, and I miss my friend, you know, I miss playing with him, and I don't know, this whole event is just emotional to me. That's why I love that event. And the music team, whoever started the music in that event, needs a raise. I don't care what they're getting paid, give them a bonus. That was a fantastic event, and I don't think that anything will ever beat the end event. But guys, with that being said, that is our list. That is our top 17 ranking every Fortnite live event from worst to best. I would love to know what you think down below. Where would you put the list? I feel like what I got wrong is the marshmallow event, maybe the end event. I feel like other people would like that more. I don't know, guys. Regardless, comment down below, let me know what you think. I would love to hear about it there, and thank you so much for watching this video. If you are new here and you enjoyed the content, please consider hitting the like button. It would help out the channel a ton, and subscribe if you're brand new. Check the description down below for links to all of my other channels, as well as a link to Real Ember on Fiverr, who will take care of all of your YouTube thumbnail needs. He did this thumbnail and he can do yours too, so if you want to be a YouTuber, check out Real Ember. He will take care of you. And lastly, guys, if you'd like to use my support creator code in the item shop, it is code Clen, #anime, #epic partner. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm gonna go play some multiverses. We'll make a video on that soon. I will see you in the next one. Take care.